Okay guys, bringing you another art tutorial. This time I want to talk about how to put objects into your scene and have them be to scale. So I'm going to keep the environment very simple here. We're still in single point perspective, and this is probably going to be one of the last videos of single point perspective that I'll do, and then we'll move on to some more complex topics in the future. But let's say you want to have people in your drawing or your painting or whatever it is that you're doing. Referencing the vanishing point, we're going to put in a person into our scene. And I've seen some people say that the head of your person is always going, their eyes are always going to fall on the horizon line. I don't necessarily agree with that, because that limits you to having the angle of observation always be even with the horizon line, and that's not always going to be the case. You know, maybe the observer is shorter than would be implied by having the eye line be the horizon line and having them be the same thing. Maybe you're above your subject. You know, a good example of that would be if I put my person down here, it now looks like he's much lower than we are as the observer. For the sake of this tutorial, we're going to keep this first body that I've drawn, and obviously it is a very, very rough silhouette. You can basically tell it's human, and that's about it. If we want to have more than just one person here, then all we have to do is reference our horizon line. And we do that just by drawing from the top of this guy's head to our vanishing point, from the bottom of his feet, and we've now put in a scale that we can use for reference. And the cool thing is this works both ways. If you want to make it smaller, we put our person over here. If we want to make them larger in the scene and take up more space, then we can extend these lines even further back. So once you have one person in there that you like how they look, as far as how their silhouette is affecting the scene, then you can really do whatever you want. So let's say I want to have someone about here. Like, I want their feet planted there. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to draw a line over to what we've now developed as a scale. And then I'm going to draw a vertical line going up, and then we're going to go back across to where we want to be. And what we've done is we've referenced this man here as a scale, and we've given ourselves the tools needed to put in a second person here. Obviously they're not perfect, none of them are, but you can see he still looks like he fits in the scene because he's still within the scale that we've developed. If you want to make him a little taller, you can do minor variations on the shape, right? I mean, you're not limited to having an exact scale. Maybe this guy is wearing a cowboy hat where the other isn't. And we can, just to show that this does work going larger, let's say we come back behind our original scale person. And just for giggles, let's put him dead center. Alright, so now maybe it's the Three Musketeers or some other trio, but we now have three people in our scene, and they all look roughly like they belong together. They have the same kind of perspective, they have the same scale. It looks correct. Now, addressing what I said earlier about what I've seen in other tutorials where they say that you have to have the horizon line be at eye level with the people in your drawing, I don't find that that's very true. Like I said, what I do find is that if you want to keep things looking natural, and if they're all on the same level plane, then the horizon line is going to go through the same body part. So in this case, our observer could be sitting on a lawn chair looking slightly up towards our characters, but when he looks to the horizon line is crossing through the pelvis there. Now, this only applies when they're on the same plane. For instance, imagine we have some kind of mountain up here, right? So there's some vertical lines coming down. It's a big, tall mountain. Obviously, if we had someone up here, then the horizon line is not going to be anywhere close to their pelvis. But for beginning tutorials, if you're trying to get everything to look good, then you're probably going to be going with a simpler scene, in which case this is not a bad technique. Anyways, like I said, this will probably be one of the last tutorials that I'll do in single point perspective. I think we'll move on to 2-point perspective and then 3-point perspective in future videos. If you have any suggestions for videos or topics that you'd like to see me cover, share them in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys think I should do next. In fact, you'd probably get a lot of sway because this channel is pretty small right now and I don't get a lot of comments. So comment away. You pretty much have full reign to direct this channel right now. And anyways, this is Odd Job Entertainment signing off. Hope you have a nice day.